Holy hell, the internet just about blew its goddamn head off today. This morning, we all know what happened. A bunch of crazy news and rumors, which will have to be stressed probably several times throughout this video. Rumors about the Nintendo NX just started blowing up all over the place. It was the talk of the town. Everyone on Twitter, everyone on YouTube, everyone on Facebook, all of the major gaming sites. That's really when I realized that this was a super big deal and something I for sure was going to make a video about tonight. A lot of information about the NX. So what we're talking about is, of course, this crazy thing. And this is apparently what these very, very deadly serious rumors about the Nintendo NX are saying are actually true. This is apparently the NX. So I need to discuss what's going on with this. I want to discuss my thoughts, what other people's thoughts are, what the rumors are saying, what the theories are saying, all these different things. So let's just get into it. This thing is supposed to be the NX. This was broken by Eurogamer, I guess, this morning, and people are taking this as close to fact as we could possibly get. Luckily, no one has actually said it is fact. I mean, people on YouTube maybe want to talk about it like it's fact, but really all of the news sites and publications that are actually reporting it and talking about it are not quite saying it's fact, but man, is everyone reacting like it's as close to fact as we could possibly get. Apparently, what we're looking at with the NX is something that's truly a handheld. And no, not a handheld console hybrid like we all wondered and thought and like the rumors had said and speculated. Apparently, it's an actual true-to-life handheld with a screen on it, with buttons and D-pads and analog sticks and stuff on the left and right side, and boom, there you go. It's a handheld. But there's a couple of major differences. One is that this thing apparently has its own docking station, which is meant to hook up to a TV, and you can set it on that docking station. Apparently, it then will all of a sudden be playing on your TV. So, okay, it's not a handheld console hybrid, but it's a handheld that has the ability to stream and or play itself directly to your TV. Okay, interesting. The other crazy thing is apparently on the left and right side of this screen, as you of course can see in the photo, the buttons and analog and D-pad configurations apparently pull off like separatable, clickable, basically controllers. They're just controllers that plug in and out to the sides of the screen. So whether you're playing it on the portable version where it's just the screen of the portable, or you're playing it as it's hooked up to the docking station, hooked up to your TV, you're using these little controllers that just attach and detach from the screen and the actual handheld device. So, whoa. What the hell? This is crazy. This is super, super crazy stuff. There are more theories being discussed about whether or not this truly is still just one of two different versions of the NX, and maybe some sort of console version will come out later. Maybe there's a couple of different form factors, all with different power levels. Maybe the docking station that you're plugging it into is what people had been talking about for a while as a separate additional computing device that's actually meant to then upgrade the power and the capability of the machine. And then, of course, there's the fact that through all this, it's apparently also being confirmed via rumor that, yes, cartridges are indeed the real actual media for the NX. It's no longer a rumor. It's now actually cartridges. This thing is really just a handheld that apparently can also connect to your TV if you wanted to. So, man, I mean, I don't even know where to begin, you guys. There's so much going on with this stuff. I think I'm just going to make this as basic as possible and say that, one, I don't believe it yet, and two, I don't hate it, but I really don't like it. Okay, so let's talk about the good. The good here is Nintendo, I think, if this were to be true, if this was true, you will not hear me talk about this like, oh, because they're doing this and because of this and that. That's how you end up tricking people into thinking this is fact, and it's not fact yet. So if this were true, what it seems like Nintendo would be doing in the event that this was a fact is they would be trying to capitalize further on the handheld market that they've been so successful with. And when you look at the fact that we're also in the very, very early stages of them also dabbling in the mobile side, and we know that, you know, they've dipped their toes into Pokemon Go. It's a huge success. We're learning that Nintendo had less and less to do with it overall, but still, it's a Nintendo gaming property, so they're there and they're involved. Miitomo was a big deal. We know that Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem, all these things are happening. They're doing something on the mobile side. They've always been successful in the handhelds. So we're dealing with their current console being such a surprise, unfathomable failure, sadly, with the Wii U. Great system that has been a huge bomb. And so what are they maybe doing? Maybe they're thinking that, well, that's the best way to keep our success going. Man, we really screwed up this console thing. Well, our handheld still does well. Maybe we just need to really focus on being a handheld company, but still kind of give this half-assed pseudo console experience to our gamers through this NX handheld that has the ability to just stream itself or play itself to a TV. I think that that's probably what they're doing. And on paper, business-wise, that sounds smart. So I have to say, if in fact this were true and if in fact this is what they were doing, I can see them trying to say the handhelds do well. Let's focus on that model. Let's adapt it a little bit for the console space, but mostly focus on that model and make it this handheld that has this ability. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Through that, if in fact this were a handheld, whether this was the only version of the NX or this was just a handheld version of what is two NXs, as its own handheld, it's actually pretty cool. If we were to separate the whole, is this what the NX truly is, and it's not actually a console, it's this thing, if we step away from that and look at it just as a Nintendo handheld, it's a great concept. If this was the successor to the 3DS, I love it. Apparently I can't talk about the specs, you guys. You need to watch a lot of other people's videos who know the specs things. Apparently it's this Integra 2 chipset AMD frickin' Android thing. This is how bad I am with this stuff, you guys. It's this Tegra 2 something, and that chipset allows it to operate like an Android device, which then makes it very easy for people to develop for, apparently, and I guess it's easier to get a certain level of power out of it, even though it's maybe not as powerful as it would say on paper. And so as a true handheld or a true successor to the 3DS, I think that we might be looking at something that, if that means it can be so powerful, that's a good thing. That it's good to make a successor to the 3DS that could maybe pull off whatever this Android capability stuff truly is. And I like the fact that it has its own pretty big looking display based on these pictures, which, as we all know, probably aren't final. And more than that, the idea of being able to pull controllers off and maybe two people can play on the same bigger screen as its own little handheld, more like a big iPad kind of device that has controllers that attach to it and detach. I think that's actually pretty cool. That's a great future for dedicated handheld gaming, like what Nintendo's always been very good at. I think that that is a potentially very, very cool idea. And then if you say, well, the other thing you can do with our brand new handheld successor to the 3DS is also plug it into this thing, which now makes it playable on your TV. Suddenly, that's really cool. I actually think as a handheld device, just a handheld, it's a great idea. It's a very Nintendo-like idea, and I think there's a lot of potentially very cool things that could happen there and some unique gaming aspects. We don't really know. I don't think any of the reports have said if the screen is a touchscreen or not, so we're still waiting to see. But as far as just a handheld, like that's a pretty cool idea. But there are some negatives that I want to talk about, you guys, and that is that honestly, if this were the true-to-life NX and the only version of the NX, I don't really want it to be a handheld. Like, I like my 3DS, and I've enjoyed the Game Boy stuff in the past, and I had an Atari Lynx back in the day. Like, I mean, not mobile gaming, handheld gaming. I think they're two different things. So handheld gaming, like what Nintendo does, I love it, and I do want it to continue. But what I don't want is for it to become the complete focal point of their business model and their gaming model, to the point where it's kind of bastardizing the console space and it's making the console the redheaded stepchild experience to what their handheld experience is. I just don't want that, you guys. A lot of people, you may disagree, and that is fine. If you love the handheld experience and this gets you a lot more excited, Robert, who runs the channel Gaming With Me, who I do the podcast with, great dude, great channel. You should definitely subscribe. I'll try to remember to link him below. He's actually very excited for this. He made a video discussing it today. I recommend you check that out. He thinks this is awesome. It was something he was actually kind of theorizing for a long time, that maybe this is what it would be. And this theory, this rumor, does get him excited. And maybe you're like Robert. Maybe you're one of those people that loves that. And I say more power to you. Maybe you're going to be getting your dreams answered. And great. I'm very happy for you. For me, and for probably a lot of other gamers too, it's not that exciting. I just honestly I always want Nintendo to kind of push the edges of innovation, sure, but I also want them to just give me a damned console experience. I always want that. I think the Wii and the Wii U were great because they have these quirky ideas and controllers and weird online Miiverse networks and touchscreens and motion control, because it has that stuff, but also it's a damned box that you plug to your TV and you put a disc or a game in and boom, you're ready to go and you just use your wacky controller to play the game on your TV. I want that. And I know that if this rumor is true, it's like, well, you're still going to get that. And I get that, but it's not that console experience Nintendo is focusing on. They're just taking a handheld experience through this rumor and putting it on a bigger screen on your TV. And it's like, it's not terrible, but it's just, I don't know. It doesn't get me excited, you guys. And I think that it probably wouldn't bode too well for Nintendo. I feel like it's risky for Nintendo. Granted, they're one of the few companies that could take something this risky and turn it into a huge surprise smash success. And I would not be surprised. Most people probably wouldn't be surprised. They have the ability to work this Nintendo magic. So if this were true, and if it looked lame, and if I wasn't excited for it, and it seemed like it was going to fail, I wouldn't be shocked if somehow Nintendo turns that boat around and makes it a huge success. And I would, of course, be happy if that happened. But I'm just going to say, you guys, call me old-fashioned. I still just want a dedicated console experience. And I want something that, at this point, I think that we need a certain level of power out of this thing. Now, if this rumor is true, we don't know how powerful this is. That's the other thing that some people have talked about is there's different levels of this Tegra chipset thing that could be the current one we all know, which would make it, twice as powerful as a Wii U maybe, but still just slightly under an Xbox One and PS4. There's another newer Tegra coming out, I guess, that's kind of an unproven, untested quantity, and that could make it as powerful as a current model PS4, or maybe a little bit more powerful, even as a handheld. Very, very interesting. If that's true, let's get down to the let's get down to the real business here. If that was true, let's say this rumored NX handheld thing, let's say it's as powerful as the current PS4, not even the Neo, we'll just say the current base model PS4. If that were true, and it does plug into the TV through this docking station, it does this stuff. You know what? At the end of the day, the fact that it's a handheld, to be fair, would not matter. Not even to me. At the end of the day, I'd probably be able to say, okay, I trust Nintendo. They made this weird handheld thing, but it does play on your TV. It's going to play all the AAA games that are going to come out from Nintendo and any third parties, and it's as powerful as a PS4. Does it really have to matter that it's a handheld? Probably not. At that point, if you just kind of shut your eyes to the fact that it's a handheld first, suddenly it doesn't matter, and you still have a controller in your hand, and you're playing quality, current generation technology games on your TV, and hey, that's really not so bad. So that's where I can see the other side of this, you guys, and it's why, although I don't want this to be true, like I said, it would not make me mad, because I feel like there is a way for this to make sense. I was actually talking with the podcast group today. We talk in a chat. Terminator Juice and I were talking as well. And I said, at the end of the day, I don't love this. He kind of made it sound like he didn't love the idea either. But I was like, you know what? If it's powerful enough, then it kind of won't even matter if it's a handheld that's plugging into your TV. Suddenly, what the unit is does no longer matter. So there's a lot of different angles to come at this from, you guys, and it's really tough to say. But I will say, I'm going to wrap up with this. I also don't think this is true, you guys. I think that people are jumping the gun. Obviously, yes, it could turn out to be true. Nintendo's so unpredictable. But this just doesn't ring true. There's a lot of people have pointed out that playing AAA games like Just Dance that was announced, another great channel you should subscribe to, if I can remember to link him below as well. I'm pimping everyone out today, apparently. The channel is YXBA. You may or may not know it. Smaller up-and-coming channel, a little bit smaller than mine. And he's makes some great content. And he made a really good post today on Twitter. And if you watch this, buddy, I hope that you appreciate that I'm bringing it up. I don't know if it was a joke or if it was just kind of a little thing he was saying. But he basically said, oh, I can't wait to play Just Dance 2017 on my portable NX. And joke or not, it made me realize, dude, they confirmed Just Dance for the NX. And there is no way that Just Dance could be a handheld experience. That shit's a console, TV, stand-up in your living room experience, which means it has to play on a console and not a handheld, which to me means either this rumor is completely not true at all, or if there's truth to it, that there's more to the story and it's not just a handheld that plugs into your TV. I think it's probably going to be more like what we thought months and months ago, where it's a portable and a handheld, or there's a couple of different versions or form factors to it. Kind of like Francis from Player Essence was saying, apparently there's rumors of different form factors of the NX here, through all this rumors about this handheld thing. So, you know what? These console games and these console experiences, they're not going to be made for a portable machine. They're just not. They're going to be made for a console that plugs into your TV and is meant to be that console experience and is going to be powerful enough. If the NX is only this handheld version, and okay, let's say it's only this handheld version, how much power could it really have? If it's the more powerful Tegra thing, okay, is it as powerful as a PS4, like I was saying a couple minutes ago? Terminator Juice brought this up. Well, how expensive is that going to be? How expensive is a handheld that's as powerful as a PS4, give or take a little bit, couple of units of measurements, whatever the hell you measure those things in? Teraflops, I don't know. Like, if it's around as powerful as a PS4, it's probably going to be really pricey and really expensive, and that all of a sudden suddenly makes it less appealing to a lot of people and less likely that it could be successful. So that's a whole nother barrier to get over. I feel like this thing, there's so many reasons why it doesn't make sense for this to be true the exact way this news has broke today. I'm sure that there are probably elements of this being true, but I feel like the final story and the final picture is probably quite different than what we've seen, what this picture is alluding to, and what everyone in the world, freaking Destructoid, Polygon, Kotaku, IGN, GameSpot, Eurogamer, everyone is talking about it. I feel like it can't be exactly what people are saying. I think that this is something else, and I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. So I'm going to wrap this up here. Tell me what you guys think. A lot going on, a lot of theories, a lot of speculation. If this was just like a regular rumor, like a little popped up picture or something like before, it probably wouldn't be so big a deal, and I may or may not have made a video about it right away. But suddenly, very quickly, this got reported on every single possible conceivable website you could possibly think of in the gaming space. So it was a big deal. It was a very, very big deal. You already know that. I'm probably the 100th video you've seen on this topic today. But, you know, do me a favor and leave your thoughts below in this video, even though you've probably done that 10 times today. I do want to hear what you guys think. You know, do you think that there's truth to this? Do you think there's no truth to this? If it was true, would you like it or would you dislike it? I want to hear all those different things from you guys below. And at this point, goddamn it, Nintendo, show us this freaking thing. Stop letting the news just blow everything out of proportion and start making up things and rumors and leaks and pictures and all this stuff. Stop that, man. Just show us this goddamn thing already. So that's what's going on with the NX rumors today, guys. Thank you, of course, so much for tuning in. Leave your thoughts below. This is Rob of Rule 2 Review. I'll catch you guys next time on another video.